Imagine you're 20 years old. You've just rented a small plane to do some island hopping. The weather's fine, the sky is clear, and as you're flying you notice something. Not a bird, not a plane, not even Superman, unless he's having a very bad day. You call air traffic control. They ask you to describe it. You do.
It's not an aircraft.
And then you vanish. No plane, no pilot, just a handful of recordings, a lot of theories, and a mystery that still hangs over Australian aviation like a very awkward cloud. This is the story of Frederick Valentich. These are the silent files. Frederick Valentich wasn't your average 20-year-old. While his friends were probably spending Saturday nights at pubs, house parties, or arguing about cricket, Frederick was flying. He'd been obsessed with aviation since he was a kid, got his student pilot's license at 17, racked up about 150 total hours in the air, which sounds like a lot, until you realize that's basically the flying equivalent of a learner's permit. He was also, how do we put this delicately, prone to drama. Friends described him as excitable, imaginative, and occasionally unlucky. He once flew into restricted airspace by accident. He'd been involved in 2 aborted training flights, and he'd been studying UFOs. That last detail, well, it's about to become important. It's October 21, 1978, Melbourne, Australia. Frederick rents a single-engine Cessna 182L from Moorabbin Airport. He tells people he's heading to King Island, about 125 miles away, to pick up some friends and do some light shopping. Light shopping is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Investigators later found no sign he'd arranged to pick anyone up. And the shops on King Island? Closed by the time he would have landed. But at 6:19 p.m., he takes off. He flies south, over the Bass Strait, a body of water famous for sudden weather changes, rough conditions, and, if you believe the stories, a healthy dose of maritime disappearances. The sun's dropping, the sky is calm. Everything seems normal until 7:06 p.m. At 7:06, Valentich radios Melbourne flight service. He sounds uneasy. He says there's another aircraft above him. It's moving fast. It's playing with him, passing overhead, then hovering. The controller asks him to identify it. Frederick says,
It's not an aircraft.
which, by the way, is not something you want to hear from a pilot over the open ocean. He says it's long, metallic, and has a green light. Sometimes it disappears, then reappears. He tries to follow it. He can't. It's moving too fast. The controller asks him again to describe it. Frederick says, it's just hovering, and it's not an aircraft. Then things get weirder. Frederick reports that the object is orbiting above him, that it seems to be made of shiny metal, that it has a green light on it. Then he says his engine's running rough. The controller tries to get more info, but Frederick's sentences are getting shorter, more clipped. He says, it's not an aircraft. It's hovering. It's above me. It's not. And then there's a loud metallic scraping noise for 17 seconds. And then, nothing. Radio silence. The search for Frederick starts almost immediately. The Royal Australian Air Force scrambles planes. Boats head out from shore. The next day, divers join in. They search for 4 days. No wreckage, no oil slick, no floating debris. It's as if the plane never landed. Which, of course, fuels the theories. Theory 1, disorientation. The Bass Strait can mess with navigation. Frederick could have been seeing a reflection, or a planet, or even his own lights. He might have become spatially disoriented, flown into the water, and sunk before rescue arrived. Theory 2, staged disappearance. He wanted to vanish. This one's thin. He had no known reason to start over. Plus, faking an engine failure while avoiding radar and search crews for decades, that's some next-level commitment. Theory 3. Military involvement. Some believe he stumbled across a secret military exercise and paid for it. Theory 4. UFO encounter. Frederick himself had studied UFOs. He told friends he might encounter one someday. And his last words were,
It's not an aircraft.
Make of that what you will. The case gets international attention. UFO groups point to it as evidence of extraterrestrial activity. Skeptics point to it as evidence that people see what they want to see. Frederick's family never stopped believing he saw something real. They held memorials, but without a body, it never felt final. In 1983, 5 years later, an engine cowl from a Cessna 182L washed ashore on Flinders Island. It matched the make and model of Frederick's plane, but it was so corroded, it couldn't prove anything. The Valentich case endures because it has the perfect mystery recipe. A young pilot with a flair for drama, a calm night over dangerous waters, an unexplained radio call, and a vanishing act with zero closure. You can fit almost any theory onto it, and none of them feel satisfying. Did he crash? Was he taken? Did the ocean swallow the truth? We may never know. The Bass Strait is still there. Planes still fly over it every day. Most land without incident. But sometimes, late at night, you can imagine it. A green light, a young pilot's voice, and 17 seconds of metallic static echoing over the ocean.
It's not an aircraft.
This was the Silent Files. Subscribe for more true stories caught in the static.